the freedom needed to limit and direct technology, to devise intelligent ways of developing and limiting our power, and to put technology at the service of another type of progress, one which is here, more human, more social, more integral. In this regard, I am confident that America's outstanding academic and research institutions can make a vital contribution in the years ahead. A century ago, at the beginning of the Great War, which Pope Benedict XVI then appointed slaughter, another notable American was born, the Cistercian monk Thomas Merton. He remains a source of spiritual inspiration and guide for many people. In his autobiography, Merton wrote, "I came into the world free by nature, in the image of God. I was, nevertheless, the prisoner of my own violence, I must own selfishness, in the image of the world into which I was born. That world was a picture of hell, full of men like myself, loving God and yet hating Him, born to love Him, living instead in fear of hopeless self-contradictory hunger. A man of prayer, a thinker who challenged the certitudes of this time and opened new horizons for souls and for the church. He was also a man of dialogue, a promoter of peace between peoples and religions. From this perspective of dialogue, I would like to recognize the efforts made in recent months to help overcome historic differences linked to painful episodes of the past. It is my duty to build bridges and to help all men and women in any way possible to do the same. When countries which have been at odds resume the path of the dialogue, a dialogue which may have been interrupted for the most legitimate of reasons, new opportunities open up for all. That requires courage and daring, which is not the same as irresponsibility. A good political leader is one who, with the interest of all in mind, seizes the moment in a space of openness and pragmatism. A good political leader always opts rather than possessing space. Dialogue and peace also means being truly determined to minimize and in the long term to end the many armed conflicts throughout our world. Here we have to ask ourselves, why the weapons being sold I would like to call attention to those family members who are the most vulnerable, the young. For many of them, a future filled with countless possibilities beckons. Yet so many others seem disoriented and aimless, trapped in a hopeless maze of violence, abuse, and despair. Their problems are our problems.
This is 89.3 KPCC.
We cannot avoid them. We need to face them together, to talk about them, and to seek effective solutions rather than getting bogged down in discussion. At the risk of oversimplifying, we might say that we live in a culture with pressures. Young people known to start a family because they lack possibilities for the future. Yet, the same culture presents others with so many options that they too are dissuaded from starting a family. A nation can be considered great when it defends liberty, as Lincoln did. When it fosters a culture which enables people to dream of full rights for all brothers and sisters, as Martin Luther King sought to do. When it strives for justice and the cause of the oppressed, as Dorothy Day did by her tireless work, the fruit of a faith which becomes dialogue and soars peace in the contemplative style of Thomas Merton. In these remarks, I have sought to present some of the richness of the cultural heritage of the spirit of the American people. It is my desire that this spirit continue to develop and grow so that as many young people as possible can inherit and dwell in a land which has inspired so many people to dream. God bless America.
Francis, with his white robes, with his glasses, his gentle voice, addressing this joint, we can expect the applause to go on for quite some time. A standing ovation for Pope Francis at the end of a speech that touched in careful ways on many vital issues facing the United States. He warned against political polarization. He didn't call it political, but he talked about reducing issues to good versus evil.
Suggesting that people who are religious should not let their religion influence their politics. And then when a pope comes here and preaches politics, you say it's religion and not politics.
I'm making the comment that if you view what the Pope is saying, if you view his words, and he spoke for about an hour, it felt like maybe 55 minutes, if you view the Pope's words through the prism of politics, whether they be conservative or liberal.
I don't think that you have to view them through the prism of politics. I said earlier
think you
that I
guys
can
are.
view them through the prism of what Catholic doctrine and the Bible actually says.
Ben, you are viewing it through the prism of politics. Roll your eyes.
I'm rolling my eyes because the idea that politics is some sort of separate and apart little prism
Especially when
in
politics
American life.
regulates values every single day.
Religion influences values. Values influence politics. To make a hard distinction between them is stupid. Okay, it doesn't exist.
Do you view the Pope as a political leader above being a spiritual leader and a religious leader?
Both.
Equally both? And this is interesting. In your view, is the Pope equally a political leader and a religious leader?
Operate a small nation.
Yes. Okay.
Because I believe that every religious leader is a political leader, and if they're not, they're not doing their job.
50-50.
Not that